All right, so I want to go over the activity you're going to be doing with your group. It is due Friday at 11:59 or by that time. So it's going to be in the purple folder, biologically important molecules activity. When you open it, there are going to be two things in here. The first one is the instructions. So looking at the instructions, here we go. So again, I kind of explained this on our Zoom, but you want to make sure you are looking at the objectives. Most of this is just background information. So if you maybe don't understand part of, something about carbohydrates, lipids, proteins, nucleic acids, make sure you're reading the background information. It also goes over functional groups. Then in areas where it says directions, this is where you're actually going to be doing that part of the assignment. So the first part is actually labeling or circling or highlighting your different functional groups. So I'm going to show you what that looks like on the Jamboard. So the next thing that you would need to open is the Jamboard itself. There's a link here. When you open it, it'll ask you to make a copy. So please make sure you make a copy. Come on. There we go. If it'll do it. Sorry, I don't know why this is being slow. There we go. Okay, so I kind of want to show you where the tools are and how to use them. They're pretty self-explanatory. It's all over here to the left. So in the first part, in those directions, it's telling you exactly which groups you need to be looking at and what you're supposed to be either circling them, paintbrushing, or highlighting them in. If you're having a lot of trouble with a pen versus a highlighter versus a paintbrush, just as long as you're using the right color, that's really what I care about, because that's what I'm looking for. So your hydroxyl groups, it says to circle in red. So if we go back to our Jamboard, this is where the pen is. This is also where the highlighter and the paintbrush are. So if we click on that little arrow, here's your pen, there's a marker, here's highlighter, here's brush, paintbrush. So we know we need red and we know we need a pen. So we're going to look for our hydroxyl groups. So, I see one right here. We're going to circle it. I see one here. We're going to circle it. So you need to go through and do all of your hydroxyl groups. Please remember, this is not the only page you have. You have 5 other pages. You need to look for hydroxyl groups on this page as well. Circle them in red. Same thing with this, and this page. So all of these pages should have every single functional group, again, either highlighted, circled, whatever, in the correct color. So next one, paintbrush in orange. Again, if you just go over here, click on the arrow, you can click on the paintbrush, click on orange, and then you can go through and make sure you're paintbrushing whatever you need to. Obviously, that is not correct. Please don't try to copy that. After you're done with the functional groups on all 5 pages, so you can also use the back button to get rid of it. There's an eraser here. So if you, let's say you put this and you messed up, you can use the eraser to get rid of it. Okay. So when we're going down, that's the directions for that. And then it goes into carbohydrates. Again, this is all background information. I suggest you read it, especially if you feel like you don't have a great handle on the macromolecules. Once you go down, here's your directions for the carbohydrate section. So on the Jamboard, you're going to move all of the carbohydrates under the carbohydrate heading. So you need to be able to look at these molecules and put your carbohydrates under your carbohydrate heading. So, make sure you're on the arrow when you want to move stuff. So, move around what's what under the correct headings. You don't have to do just carbohydrates right now. If you want to move all of them at once, you're going to have to do that for every section. So you might as well just do it now. I'm not saying this is correct. I'm just showing you how to move stuff. So please make sure you're moving things where they need to be. Once you have it moved, the next part of the directions, is to create a group Google Doc. And then you're going to have the heading monosaccharides. When you make a Google Doc, please make sure everybody on it, so it's shareable with all of you. And also, please make sure you share it with me. That way I have access to it. So again, underneath the heading, monosaccharides, you need to take a screenshot of whichever those carbohydrates, which one is the monosaccharide. So I'll give you a hint. It's right here. So the way you can take a screenshot is you should know how to do it on your Chromebook. To take a screenshot, it'll be, let me look. Screenshot is Control Shift and then your little, I don't even know what that button is. It looks like an app button. Or let me see. You might be able, don't add. So you should know how to take a screenshot. Just make sure you only screenshot the monosaccharide. That's all you need to screenshot. Because the next part, it's asking you to make a different heading that says disaccharide, and then you're going to screenshot the disaccharide sugars. Again, make sure you do this for all 5 Jamboards. You have 5 different Jamboards with 5 different looking molecules, or I'm sorry, a bunch of different looking molecules that fit under these headings. Okay. And again, then you'll move on to doing lipids. It'll tell you what to do with lipids, then nucleic acids. It gives you the directions for nucleic acids, and then finally on to protein. So what you'll turn in, you're going to turn in, again, all of you are turning these in separate, even though you worked on it together. So I'm okay, you and your group should have the same answers. You worked on it together, but you need a correctly organized Jamboard. So this includes those functional groups are labeled and circled correctly, and the molecule types are put under the correct area. It completed by, I'm going to take this out. So a completed biomolecule summary chart. This is the Google Doc that you made. And then a reflection of learning. This should be done on your own. You can just do it on a separate Google Doc using complete sentences. So 3 things you learned about biomolecule structures, 2 things you learned about the similarity among those important molecules, and 1 thing you learned about these molecules that you did not know before doing this activity or any of this. Okay. If you need help, again, please reach me through email or Remind. And we can also sign up for office hours. So if you have a group that you all want to come to an office hour together, that's totally fine. Just have one of you sign up for the office hours and put in the description, my whole group wants to be a part of it. That way I know to send multiple links, I guess, so all of you can be a part of it. Okay? All right. Good luck.